Welcome all to the Magical Garden of Stories, where we learn about kindness, respect, and teamwork.
Today, let's listen to Bundle of Stories with Moral.
The Rose and the Cactus. Once upon a time, in a beautiful garden, there lived a proud and elegant rose. Her petals were soft, vibrant, and fragrant, making her the admiration of everyone who passed by. Right next to her grew a humble cactus, with its thorny exterior and no colorful flowers. The rose often looked at the cactus with disdain. The rose said, "How unfortunate it must be to be you. No beauty, no fragrance, and all those thorns. Who would want to come near you?" The cactus remained silent, but smiled gently. He was used to the rose's harsh words. As time passed, the garden faced a severe summer. The sun blazed down mercilessly, and the plants began to dry. The once proud rose, too, began to droop as she could no longer find water to sustain her beauty. One morning, the rose noticed a sparrow sitting on the cactus, drinking water from his stem. Curious, she asked, "How are you providing water when there is none to be found?" The cactus replied kindly, "I store water inside my body, and I am happy to share it with the birds and other plants in need." The rose was shocked and ashamed. She realized how wrong she had been to judge the cactus by his appearance. Swallowing her pride, she asked, "May I have some water too?" "I am withering away." The cactus smiled warmly. "Of course, we are all part of the same garden, and we must help each other." The cactus shared his water with the rose, saving her life. The rose never judged another plant again and learned that everyone has their own unique value, even if it is not immediately visible.
Moral of the story: don't judge others by their appearance. Everyone has unique qualities and value. Kindness and humility can help us survive even the toughest times. Every plant, just like every person, is special in their own way. Always remember, what's inside is far more important than how things look outside. Be kind, be humble, and see the beauty in everyone.
The Camel and the Baby. Once upon a time, in a zoo, there lived a wise mother camel and her curious little baby. They spent their days together, surrounded by other animals. One afternoon, the baby camel looked up at her mother with big, curious eyes and asked, "Mother, why do we have these large, hump-shaped backs?" The mother camel smiled gently and replied, "My dear, these humps store fat that allows us to travel long distances across the hot, dry desert without needing food." The baby camel thought for a moment and then asked, "And why do we have such long legs and wide, padded feet?" The mother explained, "Our long legs keep our bodies high above the scorching sand, and our padded feet help us walk steadily across the shifting dunes." The baby was fascinated, but still had one more question. She asked, "Why do we have such long eyelashes?" The mother said with a knowing smile, "These long eyelashes protect our eyes from the harsh desert winds and blowing sand." The baby paused, thinking carefully, and then asked, "If we have all these amazing features to live in the desert, why are we here in a zoo?" The mother camel sighed and gently said, "My dear, even the most wonderful gifts make the most sense when we are in the right place. Sometimes we must wait for the chance to truly be where we belong." Morale: you can do your best when you are in the right place. True potential is realized when we are in the right environment. Being misplaced can limit our abilities, no matter how strong or capable we are. This emphasizes the idea that everyone has a place where they can truly shine and make the best use of their abilities. The wise owl. In a forest stood a tall, majestic tree where a wise old owl lived. The owl was known far and wide for its wisdom and calm nature. Every night, as the forest grew quiet, the owl would awaken and watch everything that happened below. It saw the animals quarrel, heard their complaints, and observed their mistakes. But the owl never interrupted. Instead, it listened patiently and learned. One day, a young rabbit approached the owl and asked, "Wise owl, Why do you stay silent when you see others making mistakes?" The owl, with its large, thoughtful eyes, replied, "Patience and observation teach more than hasty words. When the time is right, I speak, and my words carry weight because they are guided by understanding." From that day on, the animals of the forest began to approach the wise owl not just for advice, but to learn the value of listening and thinking before acting. And so, the wise owl remained a symbol of wisdom, teaching the forest animals that true intelligence lies not just in knowing, but in understanding when and how to use that knowledge. Moral: listen more and speak less. Wisdom comes from observation and reflection.
The milkmaid and her pail. A milkmaid was walking to market with a pail of milk balanced on her head. As she walked, she began to daydream about what she would do with the money she would get from selling the milk. "With this money," she thought, "I'll buy some eggs, and those eggs will hatch into chickens. Then I'll sell the chickens and buy a beautiful new dress. When I wear that dress, all the young men will admire me, and I'll toss my head at them like this." And as she tossed her head to demonstrate, the pail fell off her head, and all the milk spilled onto the ground. Her dreams of chickens, a new dress, and admirers vanished in an instant. She went sad and empty-handed to her house. She narrated what had happened to her mother. The mother said, "You should not count your chickens before they hatch, my daughter." The girl now understood her mistake. Moral of the story: don't count your chickens before they hatch. It's important to focus on the present and not get carried away with dreams of the future before they become reality. The Fox and the Grapes. A hungry fox once looked everywhere for food. He walked into a village and he stumbled upon a farmer's wall. He saw big, purple, juicy grapes. He jumped as high as possible to reach the grapes. No matter how many times he tried, he failed. Finally, he gave up and went back into the forest, muttering to himself that the grapes must have been sour anyway. Moral: nothing comes easy. Do not hate what you can't have. We must keep trying till we succeed instead of blaming others or our situations.
Kids, every story gives us a special lesson. Be strong and resilient like the cactus, but don't underestimate others like the rose. Be curious like the baby camel, always asking questions, but also be mature and practical like her mother. Be wise like the owl, talk less and work more, but avoid quarrels like the animals. Focus on your strengths and stay unique, but don't daydream like the milkmaid. Keep your eyes on the present. And finally, don't make excuses like the fox. Instead, keep trying until you succeed.
Please subscribe to Shiny Sprouts channel, like and share the video. Thank you.